Okay, so we'll start, we'll revise. Meanwhile, if anybody is left, they can join. So just to confirm, I'm audible and you can see my screen, right? Give me +1 if I'm audible and you can see my screen. Yes, thank you. Okay, so today is the second class. Wait for 5 minutes. I'll revise. Meanwhile, people can join, okay? I'll revise first what we did so that everybody can sync up. Even if you have not revised or practiced due to some reason between the 2 days we had, maybe things will, you will recall, okay? So I think then it will be always 5 minutes. So we started with JavaScript. So we are learning a language called JavaScript and we want to write softwares or programs using JavaScript language, okay? So first thing comes into mind, anyone who wants to learn new thing is why we need it, why we need to write a program, why we need to create a software. So basically the answer to that question is we want to solve real life problem, right? We want to solve real life problem. That is one of the example can be an ATM machine. Like before ATM machine was discovered, machines used to people used to go in bank and stand in long queues to even update check their balance, right? Or get withdraw some money. But now after the ATM machine is discovered, the life is very simple, isn't it? The life is very easy for us. Anywhere, every locality in 500 meters, we have a ATM machine. Wherever you been, whatever you require, you go ahead, and some of them, 50% of the features or services can be done on ATM machine, right? So somebody understood this real life problem and he decided, okay, instead of doing from the bank, I can design a machine that can solve this problem. So when we understood this problem and wanted to solve it with a machine, then we understood, okay, machines are just simple on and off. It is not intelligent. So to put intelligence in a machine, we need some kind of interaction with the human being, right? Our interaction. So yes, I'll come there. So we need some interaction, right? So to interact with that, we need a software. So software or programs are basically a platform which gives us which basically it gives a platform to so that human can interact with the machine, right? Now, so we understood the real life problem. We designed ATM machine. Then to make it more interactive, more user friendly, we need a software on top of that machine. Now to that software, it cannot all go in single direction always. It has to interact with the user. Like what is your name? What is every user have different customer ID and password and balance and everything, right? I cannot take ahead, okay, my name is ABC and my password is 123. I cannot go ahead and do everything like that. That machine will not be useful, right? So we need some kind of input and we have to give some kind of output to when we are writing a program. So this is the basic we wanted to understand why we need an input and output to make a program interactive. What is a program? Program is a logic that is we write to solve some kind of problem. Program runs over the machine. Might be somebody saying that module not found, error is found. So please check it is due to some maybe JavaScript module is not installed correctly. So please check that. So as I was discussing the program, then we started, okay, so to how to display something onto the user, we can do using console.log. Console.log is some kind of a function which is already available to us and we can use it to display any message to the output. So this is the output unit, right? Then we understood, okay, how to take input from the user. So to do that, we will be using readline. What is readline? Readline is a function that is used by us to take input from a file. So basically, while executing this program, I'll be giving a file as an input. How to give file as an input? Angular braces and will give a simple file as an input, right? Like this. And it will read line by line. It will read line by line. So when I execute this, basically, it will go ahead and read this input file, the first line. What is the first line? Sachin is the first line, right? So it will read that in that line and assign that into this variable, your name. Then I can print this your name to actually print the whatever I have read from the file. I will try to so many times, but every time it gave me error. Can you print name in students portal? I didn't got your question. Please repeat. Student name means what? A variable name? Okay. So this is the way. Now, on top of it, we understood, okay, read line reads from a file, and we need some few logic to make it work. And that logic is present here. I pasted over the chat, and or I pasted over the Slack also, right? So you need to paste these lines to make sure that read line works. If you don't paste these lines, read line will not work. Okay. So right now it is a black box for us. Why? Because we don't have sufficient understanding right now to understand these lines. Why have it has been done and how it works. But simply understand these lines are required to make read line work. Okay. So read line is what? You need to copy this, and then you can go ahead and use read line to read one line at a time from a file. Okay. Now before proceeding further, so if I execute this program, what happens? I'll have to make sure that my terminal is a command prompt terminal. Okay. I have to make sure this is a command prompt terminal. On this terminal, I have to type node. Please remember, the first is node. Node is a compiler that is used. If you don't type node, it will not compile. Okay. Right. Then the file name in JavaScript file name. What is the JavaScript file name? Input underscore output. Right. Then the input file from where I want to read it. So I want to read from input.txt file. So when I do this, basically it goes ahead and read the first line. If I change my input file, to something like Abhay, then it will read the whatever name present in that file, right? It will read that file, that variable, and putting it into variable. So as we were doing this, we wanted to discuss about variables, right? I called it here variables. So I understood, I made you understand that what are variables? Variables are basically named to a memory location. When I say what is variable, variables are basically names to a memory location. Like an example, when you go to a temple we go to a mall, basically how to run a file, JavaScript file. Quickly, please revert so that I can answer. I cannot wait here. Somebody asked me a question, how to run a file. Which file you are asking? JavaScript file. So you need to open a terminal. Make sure the terminal is set as command prompt is set as default. When this terminal opened, basically it will open the folder in which you are present. We are writing the code. So save the file, use node, then input underscore output.js, and then input file. I'll copy this inside the chat box. Please have a look. So first node is the compiler name, second is JavaScript file name, and third, after Angular braces, there is a file name. This is input file from where read line is reading. Okay. How to run a file in student portal. If it is not clear, please ping that on the Slack channel. There people will be able to explain you. Actually, student portal, I don't have access. Okay. So I won't be able to explain you. Please post this question over Slack. Okay. Now, second thing that we discussed is how to solve a problem. So we wrote this problem, okay, and we discussed our steps, 6 basic steps to solve any problem. So what are those problems? First one is understand the problem statement. So here the problem statement was, we wanted to write a program which greets people, customer, and how it greets, it says hellos and then customer name. What is customer name? Basically variable name, which we will be reading from a file. Input will be a customer name, so we'll be reading from a file. And output is what? Output is hello, then customer name. So this is problem statement. After understanding the problem statement, we wanted to do what? if you are facing, I can see a lot of people asking this question regarding the student portal. Okay, so please post these questions on over Slack. We have people there who can explain you about the student portal. I'm really sorry, but I don't have access, and maybe I'll check next time and explain in the next class. Okay. So solve the problem. First we is understand the problem. Then we come up with new test cases. What is test cases? Basically, different kind of inputs that I can get, right? So I have to come with the new test cases. Then coming up with algorithm. What is algorithm? Algorithm is basically a stepwise instruction in English language to solve the problem. So let us write this algorithm. Let us write the algorithm to solve this problem. This is very basic problem, so it will not take any time, but still. So first thing I need to do is what? First thing I need to do is read the customer name from the input file, right? I need to do this first thing. After reading it, display the message. Display the greetings message. Do you all agree? Right? These two steps we need to do to solve this problem. Are you all with me, sir? What is the meaning of test cases? Test cases is different type of input that our program can get. Simple. What kind of input our program can get, and if that input is provided, whether the output is as expected or not. So basically checking your program, checking your instruction, whether it is behaving as you expect or not. Okay. Test case is just type of input and expected output. So these are type of inputs. Ravi, Sehwag, Sweta can be a type of input, and my output should be hello Ravi. This is customer name, right? So hello Sweta, hello Sehwag, right? These are called test cases. One was given as an example, and I came up with two more. Okay. Then we wanted to come up with algorithm, and this is what we think. First, we need to read the file to get the customer name, and once we have the customer name, basically we have to print the customer name. Second thing is convert the code into algorithm into code. What is the meaning of converting algorithm into code? Basically, when I have written these steps, algorithm steps, these are basic English language, right? I need to write this in JavaScript language, the way JavaScript works. So how to do it? Let me first save this file, okay? Let me first save this file. So this is greetings.js. Greetings.js JavaScript. Okay. So let me convert this into code. Let me convert this into code. Okay. So please take one program for example. Yes, I'll take a lot of programs. Don't worry. So first thing I need to do what? I need to copy these lines to make read line work, isn't it? I need to copy this line to make read line work. So I'll copy this. And then what I need to do is first thing, read the customer name. How to read the customer name? I need to use a read line, right? I need to use read line. Once I read something, I need to store it in a variable. So suppose I want to store into customer underscore name. Customer name is the variable where I want to read and store the name. Once I have the variable, basically I have to output the message. Second one is output the message. Console.log. Hello what? Customer name, right? Now see the difference. Hello I have written into double quotes. Okay. Hello is written into double quotes. And customer is written without double quotes. Why? Because customer is a variable. I want to print the value of the variable, okay? Not the customer name as it is. And hello, I want to print as it is. As a result, this was as it is. Why this is? This is an operator that can add two strings. When we say add two strings, basically it places it side by side and form a new string. And this is called string concatenation. I'll explain in detail in few minutes. Okay, let me run this program. This plus operator basically add these two strings. One is this string and second is whatever is present in this variable. So what is present in this variable? The output, the name that we have read it from here. So basically it will be hello plus away, whatever we read from here, right? So let me save this file and then I'll run this file. So how to run? First node, then the file name. What is my file name? Greetings is my file name. And I need to provide an input. What input I need to give? Input file, right? Input.txt. See, it is expected output, right? Yes, we can add more than 2 strings also, not a problem. Any number of add, you can, again, I can use a plus here and do that, not a problem. This is called, can we add more than 2 strings? Yes. String concatenation with another variable. Yes. Yes, I didn't use let right now because I have not explained let. Okay, let, I'll explain in some time, then I'll explain it. Don't worry. Okay, so this is how it works. So as per our 6-step solve problems, first step is understand problem, we did it. Come up with test cases, we did it. Come up with algorithm, we did it. Convert with algorithm, we did it. Now second thing is dry run. How dry run works? Dry run is basically running your program in mind. Here the program consists of 2 lines. It doesn't make any difference. But in when you go further, you will be writing codes which is 100 lines of line, right? And whether the program behaves as it is not clear. So basically, before running the program, you should do dry run, okay, in your mind. Basically, go through the steps and see if it resolves. If the input is given, it produces desired output or not. So running the program in your head is called dry run, okay? So let me run. I say what customer name is a variable. Then I say read line how what? I read the file and read what file I read here. So Abhay will be assigned into this. Abhay will be assigned into this variable. Your name will be equal to Abhay. Then what I'm doing? I'm simply where I am here. I'm reading Abhay and simply then I am printing it. Here concatenation will basically add the string. So as a result, hello plus Abhay will be printed. See here I have given space. If I remove space, it will be concatenated without space. But I need a space, right? I need to separate the 2 words. As a result, I want to provide a space here. Am I clear now, guys? This program, is it clear? No, concatenation cannot be used for int. I'll come there. Don't run. I'll come here. If it is clear, give me +1. If it is clear, this program. How can we dry run? Dry run is like running the steps. Whatever logic you have written, run it in your step and see if it is behaving as you want. When you give an exam, when you appear for a maths exam or a science exam, before submitting the paper, you revise the answers, right? You read it and in your mind you try to figure out whether it makes sense or not, right? Are you able to follow me? In exam, we before submitting the paper, we go through the answers once again, right? In your head. Why? To make sure that you have written correct answer. You basically correct the answer in your head. Simply, this is dry run. Go through the instruction in your head so that to check whether these are behaving, the program is behaving as it is, as you want or not. Okay. Cross-checking can be done or running your program in your head. More suited for a programming language. Okay. What is instance? Don't go there, instance and all. Classes and objects we'll discuss later. Okay. Don't run. Go, please follow us. We will teach everything. Okay. We'll explain everything. Okay. Now, second thing comes into mind while discussing this problem. Basically, we went through string data type, right? A variable will have a data type. Now, what is data type? So basically, data type are types of data that we deal with. So basically, in real world, we have some kind of data, right? Number, integer, floating point, double, string, character. We have different data, right? So these data are categorized into some type, and these are called data types. So any data that we deal with can come under some data type. Data type basically in JavaScript we have two type of data type, or in any language, basically we have two type of data type, primitive and non-primitive data type. Okay, so primitive can also be called as built-in data types. Basically, it is the smallest unit on which the data types are built up. Can we use let on customer name? Yes, let can be used. Let is used to, let keyword is used to define a variable. I'll come there. Give me a minute. Okay. So when I was discussing data type, basically, these are two kind of data type. Okay. There are two type of data type. One is what? One is primitive, or it also called as built-in data type. Basically, it comes with the JavaScript. And there are non-primitive data types which are basically derived from primitive data type, or it can be also called as non-primitive data types, or it can be called as derived data types. From the name, it is clear primitive as basic building blocks, and derived are derived from the primitive data types. Examples of primitive data types are, one is string. What are string? Strings are basically collection of character, one or many. Collection of character. Strings are put into single quotes or double quotes. So single quotes A is also a string, single quotes A is also a string, and double quotes A is also a string. ABC is also a string, and ABC is also a string. Okay, so this is string data type. So this is string data type. Okay. Sir, where will we get these notes? I'll paste it. Don't worry. Slack. I'll post it over Slack. Second thing is number. So in JavaScript, we any number, either integer or double or float, or everything comes under number data type. Okay, everything comes under number data type. Achha, this is itself it is putting. I do not want this. So a number can be an integer. A number can be an integer like 10. A number can be a floating point like 10.1. A number can be a double like 10.1.198. So everything comes under number. Okay, one alphabet is a character. Yes, there is no data type called character. Okay, everything is a string. Everything comes under string. Then we have primitive data type as Boolean. Booleans have only two value, true and false. True and false. Okay. Then we have a data type called undefined. Basically, it is not a data type. It is a type that is assigned to an uninitialized variable. Now let me explain this to you one by one. Okay. So let me define a variable. So how to define a variable? I will use let keyword to define a variable. Let. So I'll define a variable let A. Okay. When I say let A and not assign any value to it and try to print it, basically it will have undefined value. It will have undefined value. So if I save this file, suppose test.js, okay. If I save this file and try to run this file, node test.js, see, it is undefined. Are you able to see here? Undefined. No, strings are primitive data type. Strings are primitive data type. These four are I have mentioned inside primitive, right? Non-primitive we'll discuss later. Non-primitive can be objects, array. These kind of data types are called as non-primitive. Okay, but we will not go there. I'm only discussing primitive data types. Primitives are string, numbers, booleans, and undefined. What is undefined? When a variable is created without any value, then it contains a type which is called undefined. Am I making sense? Are you with me? Give me +1 if you can understand this undefined. Can you tell us, me क्या था question? Please repeat. Yes, I'll repeat closer. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry. Take your time. I'll explain. I'll repeat 100 times. Not a problem. Repeat undefined. Yes. So when I declare a variable, this is a declaring a variable. Okay. This is declaring a variable, but not putting any memory to it, not putting any data to it. So when a variable is defined, when a variable is declared, when a variable is declared here, and we do not assign any value, basically it will have a data called undefined. Okay. And if I declare another variable, suppose let b, and I give 10 inside it, and try to print it, console.log. So what is b? B is a number, right? B is an integer. Why do we use let? Let is a keyword to declare a variable. Let is a keyword. What is keyword? A predefined name that means something to the compiler. Okay. Compiler knows, okay, if somebody using let, that means he is trying to declare a variable. Is it clear? So what will be the output of this line number 4? Tell me. What will be the output of line number 4? 10, right? Because it is type number. And if I try to print the type of this data type, if I try to print the type of this data type, see, there is a function called type of that tells us the type of any data type. So I wanted to print the type of data type. So it will be a number. It will be a number. See, why? Let type of A. Okay, type of A, no, type of B, basically. Type of B is what? A number. Even if I declare a variable, make B as floating point 10.1, even if I make 10.1, it will be still be a number. It is not changing. Whether it is integer or float or double, it will be always a number. Okay, it will be always a number. Are you guys getting it? Number data type. Is it clear? Give me +1 if you're able to understand. Similarly, I can have another variable. Let C is equal to A. So A is a double quotes, right? So if I try to print this data type value, type of C, basically it will say string. It will say string. Even if I put it into single quotes, it will be of type string. Okay. There is no int or float data type in JS. Yes, there is nothing called int and float. Everything comes under number data type. Is it mandatory to put let before C and B? Yes, when you are trying to declare a normal variable, you should put let, because when you do not define let, use let and define a variable like we did it here, it means something different. It has some other meaning also, okay, which will be discussed later, like this. So obviously, every time you declare a variable, always use let. How to declare a variable? Use let in front of the variable name. A should contain garbage value. Actually, in JavaScript, there is nothing called garbage value. It has a value, predefined value called undefined. You can say that a no undefined variable will have a predefined value which is called undefined. Yes, you can do that ABC, but it will define 3 undefined variables. All the ABC will have undefined value. Is it making sense? Any problem here? Data types, primitive data types, string, number, boolean, and undefined. So please say is where used to declare. We will come there. Where is also a keyword which will be used to declare a variable, but it has different meaning. Okay. It has some extra with that. We will discuss later on. Boolean is a data type that can have only true and false. I'll explain that when time comes. Yes, you can assign multiple values. Somebody is asking, can we do like this? Comma D is equal to 20, right? And print console.log D, right? So basically I am using let to declare two variables here. See here, B and D. See here, it is comma. Why comma? Comma says it is not the full stop. It is after this there is some lines is present. When semicolon is it, basically this is the place where we end the instruction, right? Sir, please explain slow. Okay. Tell me where you have a problem understanding. I'll repeat that difference between undefined and not defined. No. There's not defined is like we do not have assigned any value. Okay. What is, let us understand with an example. Okay. Please follow. No. Okay. There was a question. Can we do like this? Let A is equal to, suppose A, comma, 20. So what happens? JavaScript in other language it works basically comma used as an operator and 20 will be assigned to it, but here it creates problem. Let me give AA. So basically this will create a problem. Okay, it will not allow. If I try to run this program, it will not allow. This cannot be done. Okay, can we declare more than 2 strings variable in single line? Yes, you can. Like BB is equal to B. This can be done. Does it make sense? Okay, so I was explaining variable undefined. There was a question like what is the difference between undefined and not defined? Okay, so not defined is what I wanted to mean is when a variable is declared, basically we are not storing anything. So when we go to our example, it's also a number. 20 is being printed as string. 20 is being printed as string. Here where 20 is this one. 20 is a number. It's not a string. You print it, it will be the data type will be number, not a string. Yes, if you put it into double quotes, it will be a string. But that will not, you will not be used. So, Acha, I'll come to that. Give me some time, okay? Give me some time. Let me explain first this. So people, I wanted to explain what is the difference between not defined and undefined. So when we declare a variable, basically we do not keep any value inside it. And that state of the variable is called not defined. What I mean by that is, suppose we were understanding that example where we were going to mall and want to keep something, my bag, I want to keep it at the door. So what he does, he takes a token, gives token to me and keeps a bag to a place, right? Now, suppose that place has 10 places and everyone has a token, but some of them are not used, right? So the token are not defined. The value is not present in that. In that case, when something is not present in that, basically we keep some default value and that can be a undefined value, undefined data type. Okay, can we put number into double quotes? Yes, but that will be treated as a string. I'll explain that. Give me some time. Is it clear this undefined type, undefined and not defined? A variable, when variable is not defined, that means it is not having any value. And if it is not having value, JavaScript by default puts something into it that is called undefined data type. It's like a box which doesn't have anything. So you put some plastic inside it so that it can maintain itself, right? Is it clear? Undefined and defined, undefined and not defined. Not defined is like not keeping anything in this variable. This is the state of not defined. I have not put anything inside this variable. This is just a variable name. What is the value? What value does A have? in line number 1. You ask to yourself, what is the value of A in line number 1? In line number 2, B has a value. What is the value? It is storing this value. Does A is storing any value here? No. And this state is called undefined. Variable is not defined here. Variable doesn't have a value here. In mathematics, we say x is equal to 10, right? So what is x? X has a value 10. And when we say let x, when you say let x, can I ask you what is the value of x? You will say no, nothing has been assigned till now, right? No, sir, I don't understand. You're going fast. Is it like that? Okay, I'll try to slow down. But if you have any doubt, you can post it, right? Undefined and not defined is similar words. You can say that. Basically, not defined means some value is not present. X doesn't have a value assigned to it. Okay, and number 1 variable has no value, so it gives undefined. Yes, undefined is a type, data type that JavaScript assigns. That JavaScript assigns to a undefined value. So if you create a variable and you do not put anything, JavaScript will say, okay, you cannot keep like that. You put it inside undefined data type. It's like you bought a purse. Okay, you brought a purse at home, and your mother says you cannot keep a purse without money. So take 1 rupee from me and keep it inside it. It's like that. So JavaScript is telling you you cannot have an empty variable. You keep this undefined type in it till you define something. This is a live example. What example you want? See here. So what is the output of this program? What is the output of this program? Undefined. Why? Because nothing is present inside it. My purse is empty. So what JavaScript did is assign some value. In next line, I'll say A is equal to 20. Okay. And then if I print this value, 20 will get assigned inside it. Now you got 20 rupees from somewhere and you put it into your purse. So 1 rupees is replaced by 20. Am I making sense? Okay. So one more question I had, I got over chat is what is the difference between this? A is equal to 20 and let B is equal to double quotes 20. Okay. So there is a difference. Basically, A is a number type. If I see the data type of A, it is a type of A is a number type and B will be of string type. B will be of string type. You ask me what is the difference? Difference is if I do a plus A is equal to A plus 4 and B is equal to B plus 4. Basically, what will the output of A? What will be output of A? A will be 24, right? What will be the output of B? It will be basically concatenate. Concatenate. These are string. How strings are concatenated? If I have two string, hello, and this customer name, they are placed side by side, right? So basically, this will placed 20 and 4 side by side, like this. Let me print it. Console.log A. Console.log B. It will put side by side. Is it clear? Am I making sense? No comma will not be placed. I am not putting any comma there, right? So no comma will not be placed. It will be concatenate, but basically placed side by side. Can we reassign some different value to a data type? Yes, reassign can be done. Okay, so I believe data type is clear. Data types can be of two types. What are data types? Basically, every data has a type, so that we can understand how much memory is required to store that variable, right? So if I am allocating a space, basically I'm taking a TV or a purse, and where I need to keep it. Basically, it will be decided by the type of the data that I'm placing it, how it runs without semicolon. Basically, you should not leave semicolons. Semicolons should be there. Yes, it should have semicolons. It runs because JavaScript allows, but it should not. It can create a lot of issues. Okay. So data types are basically types on which any data can be differentiated. Why we need to differentiate data? Because we want to decide how much memory will be required to store that variable, that store that data. Okay, and what are the different type of data? Data can be divided into two types: primitive and non-primitive. Primitive data types are string, number, boolean, and undefined. Okay. Okay, let us go to the next. Guys, any doubt till now? You can ask me any, if you have any doubt. Any kind of doubt you can ask me. I'll wait here for a minute. Not a minute, 30 seconds. Boolean, I'll explain with example. Give me some time. Just remember, Boolean is a type that can have only true and false. I'll explain with an example. Hold it for a second. Can you explain 24 and 204? Yes. So see here what happened. Here we saw that A is a number, right? A is a number. So when you say number plus number, 20 plus 4. So basically you treat it as a number, right? 20 plus 4 is 24. But when 20 is treated as a string, basically the plus operator will act as will concatenate the string. It will not add the string. This is the difference between data type. You are saying this is string. This is like Ajay plus Vijay. So you are saying 20 is a name to a person. You add 20 to Vijay, like that. So you are not saying the compiler to treat 20 as a number. You are saying compiler to treat as a string. That's why. So here 20 is treated as a string, and when you added 4, basically it converts the data type into 4 into another string and add it. It says, okay, this is also treated as a string, and both will be added, concatenated. But here both are numbers. As a result, both treated both as a number. While declaring two variables in a single line, like A is equal to B is equal to 20, should we use comma? You should use comma in between the variables. Comma, not semicolon. Plus is an operator which behaves differently depending on the data type. If plus is used to add two numbers, it will add the numbers. If plus is used to add two strings, basically it will concatenate the string. What is non-primitive? We will explain it in detail. Don't worry. Right now, concentrate on primitive data types. Okay. Can we write console.log type of A plus B? Then it will add that, it will say type of A is number plus B is what? 20. So it will number 20. Like that it will print. Please write down B in 2 lines without double. 2 lines meant what? I didn't got your question. Not in 2, in second line. Write down B in line number 2 without double quotes, and then he can write is similar, then it will behave like A. See here, it will behave like A then. We have already A for that, right? Same thing, it behaves like A. Instead of comma, can we use colon? No. Colon is a different thing. No issues. Is it clear, guys? I hope you are able to understand till now whatever I have discussed. Give me +1, guys. Respond so that I can understand. You have able to understand. I want everyone to be clear till whatever we have discussed till now. Okay. Now let us go to the next thing. So next I wanted to discuss a problem. Okay. It is called billing problem. Can we convert float number to normal number data type? There is nothing called float number. Everything is number. Okay. So if it is a float or an integer, you cannot convert it into either of them. There is a parse int and parse float function is there, but I'll come there. Give me some time. Okay. Sir, can we explain two variables types in one console.log? No. Then yes, you can do it, but in a different way. I don't want to go there right now. Okay. Please follow. We'll explain everything. Okay, so let me type a problem here. We'll try to solve it with the 6-pointer that we have discussed. Okay, so question is, try to read the question as I type. Question is, given the unit price and the GST percentage, compute the final price compute the final price. This is problem statement. What is input? What is the input that we expect? 2 lines containing 1 integer each. First line denotes the unit price. Second line denotes the GST price, GST percentage. Okay. Output. What is expected output? 1 line containing the final price. Example, test case. So example test case is basically one of the example of type of input and expected output. So input can be like 100 and 18. So 100 is the price of 1 unit and 18 rupees is the GST. So what will be the output? It will be 118, right? So this is your problem. So how to solve the problem? First, we will go through the problem statement. Okay. First, we'll go through the problem statement. So what it says, given the unit price and GST percentage, compute the final price. So when we go to the market and buy anything, basically once there will be a cost price, selling price to the item. We go to pencil shop, we go to a stationery shop and buy a pencil. Okay. So a pencil costs you 5 rupees, suppose. And the shopkeeper says there will be a 10% of GST on top of it. So what does it mean? That 5 rupees plus 10% of 5 rupees, which is 0.5, right? Then you add it and you have to pay 5.5 rupees, right? 5.5 rupees. So this is what. So you will be given with a unit price, single unit price of a item, and GST will be given to you. How much GST will be calculated on top of that? And basically you will have to print the final output. That is, add the final unit price with the GST, whatever GST percentage we get on the unit price. Is the problem statement clear to everyone? Give me +1 if you are able to understand the problem statement. Yes. So what is the second point in our 6-step to solve the problem? Second thing is come up with test cases. So what can be test cases? Test cases can be, the first one is 100 and 18. So somebody can say, okay, my unit price is 30 and my GST percentage is 12, right? GST percentage is 12, isn't it? This can be one input to us. Somebody can say, okay, my unit price is my unit price is 50 rupees and GST percentage is 12.5. Yes, GST can be a decimal floating point number, right? So these two are expected input to my program, right? What will be the output, expected output for this second one? 12% of 30, right? I don't know, I'll have to calculate. 12% of 30. What is this? Three point six. 10% is 3, right? 12%, 2% is 10%, 12%. 12 into 30 divided by 100. What is this? 3.6 plus 30. It is 33.6, right? 33.6. So output should be 33.6. And this one, 50%, 12% of 15. 12% of 50. 12.5% actually. So $56.25. Do you all agree? Right? This is our expected test cases. Okay. We should run our program with these inputs also. Along with 100, I should run my program with 30 and 50 as well. Okay. Okay. The next step to solve our problem is come up with algorithm, right? Come up with algorithm. This is what we wanted to do, right? Come up with algorithm. So let us write the algorithm. Let us write the algorithm for this program. What is algorithm? Algorithm is basically writing logic to solve this program in English language. So first thing I need to do is read the unit price from input file. Do you all agree? I need to read the input first unit price, first line, that is unit price. Second thing was what? Read the GST percentage. Now here there is another step I need to do. Basically, see, when I read the GST input file, I read a string value. So basically, read line always read a string. So 100 will be part of string. I cannot perform addition subtraction on a string. So basically, I'll have to convert it into a number, an integer number, right? So convert unit price into integer or number, basically number. Then I need to read the GST percentage, and similarly I'll have to convert GST percentage into number, right? Then what? Calculate final price. Calculate final price. How to calculate final price? Basically, final price will be equal to unit price plus unit price into what? Into GST percentage divided by 100. Right? This is the formula I'll have to use. Do you all agree? Once I have the final price, basically I'll have to print it. Print or display final price. Right? Display final price. Is the algorithm clear to everyone? Give me +1 if it is clear, or if it is doubt, tell me the line number where you are not able to understand. Line number 2.2. Convert unit price into number. Line number 5. Calculate final price. This is simple calculation, right? This is simple calculation. So if 100 rupees is the unit price, so 18% of 100, how to calculate? You either do this or first divide GST by 100 and then multiply. Either whatever you want to do. Because when read line reads, it reads into a integer, it reads into a string. I'll show you that. I'll show you. It is the difference between double quotes 20 and 20. When I'll solve the problem, I'll explain you that. Why should we convert? Yes, I'll explain that. Give me 2 minutes. Other than this, any problem? Why we should convert the into number? Other than that, any doubt? Okay. So what is the next step to solve our problem? After coming up with algorithm, write the code, convert into code, right? So let me convert this into code. First save it. So this is billing problem. Billing underscore problem. Right? Billing underscore problem. Why we need underscore? Where I have put underscore? Is readline only read any data type as string only? Yes, it reads only string. Paste an input value for readline. How to convert the string into number? I'll come there. I'll come there. You guys are running faster. Why should we convert into number? Yes, I'll come there. Okay, let us convert it into code. Okay, what is the first line that we do? Okay, before that, let me copy the this lines for read input, read line to work. Right? I need this lines to make read line work, right? After this, what is the first line that in the algorithm? Read the unit price from input file. Okay, so let me read it. How to read it? First, I need to declare a variable. So let me declare a variable, let unit underscore or price like this. I can name variable like this also, and do a read line. Okay, do a read line. Now see, the problem is, where is my input file? Where is my input file? Where is my input file? Here is my input file. So let me put the first test cases, that is 100 and 18, right? Right. Now, if see here, if I execute this line and try to see what is the value of unit price, see here, what is the value of unit price? Unit price. Let me see. Underscore between unit and price. Do while naming variable here, line number where I have named it. point me with the line number, okay? See here, if I run this program, what happens? It reads 100, correct? But if you check the type, what is the type of this data type, this input price? Is it string? After let, I have not used, that's why you said I didn't use underscore. I used, that is depends on the naming of a variable, okay? I can use underscore or I cannot use underscore. That is on my command. There is nothing, you can choose your variable name. Just make sure that you do not start a variable name with a number and a special character like is equal to or something like that. Please we'll come there with double quotes also, okay? Are you guys getting this? Why we need to convert it? Until and unless I convert into number, it will be a string and I won't be able to perform this operation, this plus minus, this will not be able to perform. Do you all understand why we need to convert it into number? Does it make sense? We cannot perform addition, subtraction, multiplication on a string, right? That's why we need to convert it into a number. Yes, sir, it has a string value. Yes, this is what I want to explain. So basically, I do not need these things. Since read line reads a string, I need to convert it in. So I can do it in 2 steps. I can say unit price is equal to, I need to typecast it. So how to typecast it? There is a function called parseInt. But try to understand that the value can be a float also, right? The value can be a float also. So instead of typecasting into integer, you typecast into float. That is, you convert it into a bigger type. Do you agree I should convert it into a bigger type instead of integer? What is parseInt? ParseInt is an inbuilt function. I can either use parseInt plus float, parse double. What is parseInt? ParseInt is an inbuilt function that converts the type of data. It converts from string to integer. String to integer, parse float will convert it into string from string to float. Let us first use string and then see what is the problem it causes to us. Okay. Let us say parseInt, or I can combine these two. See, I can combine these 2 lines to say, instead of doing it into 2 lines, I can say whatever read line has read, you convert it into a parseInt. I have combined line number 1 and line number 2 into 1 line. Wait, let me write in a separate line. So line number 49 and 50 can be combined like this. Let unit price is equal to parseInt read line. Do you all agree? I can combine 49 and 50 to work like 52. Should I rub this? We are comfortable with this, right? Any problem, you can paste your questions. If you have problem with line number 49, why I used like this? No problem, okay. Okay, so my first line is done, right? First 2 line is done. Read the unit price, convert the unit price into number. Second, read the GST value. So how to read the next line? You call the parseInt again. You call the read line again. What read line will do? It will go ahead and read the second line of the file. So if I check here, my first console.log, what is my unit price and what is my GST value. If I check this, basically I have 10 and 18 stored in it. I'll explain 49 line again. 49. So 49 is reading from a file. Read line reads a string. So it will read a string as 100. So read line will give us like this 100. Then we are passing this as an input to parseInt like this. So parseInt, when this executes, this will return basically 100, not string 100. It will return number 100, integer 100. Is it making sense? When we pass how 100, sir? How 100? How 100 means what? 100 I have read from the input file, right? This is the input I have read. And as I told you, read line reads a string data type. So it reads into double quotes, string data type. If I do not use parseInt, it will give me a 100 but in double quotes. That is a string type. I need to convert into a number. That's why we have to do a parseInt on that. Is it clear? Okay. So I have read the and converted my unit price and GST into numbers. I have read it and converted it, right? Line number 1 to 4 is done. Do you all agree? 1 to 4 is done. I have converted it. Now next is calculate the final price. Now this calculation can also be done in two paths. So let me declare a variable. Let GST percentage is equal to, what is GST percentage? GST divided by 100, right? GST divided by 100. Is there any function to directly read it number format? Yes, it is there, but we'll discuss it later. Explain it one more time. Every time we need to convert for string to number. If we need to read it from using this code that we have learned till now, yes. But we will learn different methods where we can directly read from in integer format, okay? Don't worry. Can you, sir, please tell me why you take the input, why it took string by default? That is depends on the implementation of read line, okay? That depends on the implementation of read line. Right now we know only read line. That's why whatever we know, we are trying to use that. Does it make sense? Now, if I divide it, let me see what it prints. What is the value here? What is the value here? GST percentage. I'll execute line by line so that everything is clear. See, I get a 0.8. Now I can directly go ahead and edit. Now I can directly go ahead and edit into a final price. Let final price is equal to unit price plus GST. Isn't it? And this has to be printed. Console.log final price. Formula GST into 100. GST into 100. No. Percentage you want to calculate, right? Percentage you want to calculate. 18%, 18 rupees per 100 unit. And you are calculating for 1 unit. So what is the percentage? Percentage. So 1 unit is 0.18 rupees. So 18% per 100 items. We are calculating for one item. Yes, basically I broke this formula. I broke this formula in two parts. I calculated this separately. Instead of doing like this, what I did, I broke this formula like this. Instead of doing like this, what I did, I said GST price is equal to whatever GST is giving me, divide by 100. Same thing. Instead of multiplying with this and then dividing by 100, I initially divided it. I did like this. I remove this and divide by this and then add it into unit price. This also results into same thing. If you write 50 lines, if we write 50 line above 49 number, that is the input for GST percentage. 50, if you write 50, no. The first one indicates what is the first one? Read the problem statement. First line donates the unit price. If you read the first line in the GST will become the unit price. I need unit price to be read first. First line is the unit price. Okay. Hauser got the same value. Yes, this is mathematics, right? This is simple mathematics. GST divided by 100, 18. I wanted to calculate the same thing, right? Hauser got the same value. Total price should be 118. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I did mistake there. It should be 18. Yes, 18%, right, per 100 rupees. So 18 will be the 18% per unit. So I made a mistake. Sorry. Yes, you're correct. It should be like this. 18 into it should be multiplication, not addition, right? It should be multiplication of unit price. If we are going by this, it should be multiplication. What I mean to say is, I can write this like this: UP into GST by 100. This can be one of the example. Am I making sense? These two formulas. Screen has stopped. No, why? So let me solve it. Then on it will be clear, I believe. Let me solve it. So here final price is what? Here final price will be what? 100 plus 100 plus 100 into 18 divided by 100. So basically it will be 100 plus 1800 divided by 100. This will result into 100 plus 18, right? Which is equal to 18. In this formula, what we are doing? We are saying 100 into GST is 18 divided by 100, right? So basically it will yield it into 100 into 0.18. Achha. Just give 18 plus unit price. Okay. Sorry, I messed up the formula. This should be plus 100 rupees. Yes. That is only GST, and then plus add it with the unit price. Sorry, I messed up. So it will be 18 now. This will result into. Now, is it clear? I created some confusion here, but is it clear now? Both are resulting into, yes, both are resulting into 18. 118 basically. Okay. So the formula should be this into. So this should be equal to unit price, right? Unit price into GST. If I go by first formula, and if I want to do it in a single line, if I want to do it in a single line, then what? I can not define this value separately, and I can go ahead and print it, right? This formula can be used, either of this formula, either go by this formula or this formula, your wish. Instead of defining a new variable, I can do it in a single line. So I'm calculating this separately. And then adding it with this into that. Yes, GST value is correct. Now let us dry run this code. What is the next step in our way of solving the problem? Next step is dry run the code. Is the code converting code into algorithm clear? Converting code into algorithm clear to everyone? Any doubt you can ask me. GST percentage is equal to unit price into 12. Then unit price is equal to this. Percent sign. Percent can be used, but we are not doing like that. I have wrote this formula and we are following this formula. Okay. Fiftieth line is GST formula. 50th line is 50th line is not GST formula. This is GST value. 53 line number 3. If we pass float value, I'll come there. So let me quickly dry run this program. So we read 100, convert into %. Then again, we go ahead and read the next input. What is next input? Next input is 18. So basically, initially it will read 18 as a string, right? It will read 18 as a string, but again we call parseInt to convert it into number, which will be 18. Then we did what? GST in divided by 100, which is equal to 0.18. So it will result into like this: 100 into 0.18, which will be equal to 18, right? Then what? We are declaring a new variable and saying unit price, which is 100 plus 18, right? And so final price is, and we're printing this final price, right? 55 line you're missing, multiplying with unit price. Yes, I did it. 55. No, here we don't need, we are going through the next one, right? We are going with the previous, this formula. So I'm calculating this separately and adding with the unit price. 53 is GST percentage. Yes, 53 is GST percentage. Second line in the input file. Let me run this program. Final step is execute the program, okay? So it calculates the value. How it gets line number 53. Line number 53 is 18, yes. Then I calculate the GST percentage, right? This gives me GST percentage, which is 18. Here I have calculated, right? Unit price is 100, GST is 18, divided by 100 is 0.18. And then I'm multiplying with the unit price, which is 18, right? Dry run is this, what I did. I came here, first, let us dry run this program. So I come here, unit price. What is unit price? What is the unit price? I read the file. I call read line and read the input file. What is the first line? 100, right? 100, but it is a string. So I have to convert it to an integer. That's why I called parseInt. So unit price is 100 rupees. Next one is GST. I go ahead and call read line again. Next line is 18, right? So I come here, 18 is a string. So that's why I call parseInt and convert it into a number. Now, sorry, this is 18. 18, right? This is 18. GST is divided by 100, not unit price. Yes, since unit price is 100, it is confusing things. But in next problem, we will be able to understand, right? 50% of, basically it will be 50% of unit price. This is calculating what? GST percent of unit price. Okay, so I have GST, then GST percentage. I'm calculating the percentage of per pencil. So suppose pencil is 5 rupees, right? One pencil is 5 rupees, and somebody says 10% GST. 10% GST. So how to calculate 10% GST? Try to understand like that. A pencil cost me how much? 5 rupees. Okay. And GST is how much? GST is how much? 10%. What do you mean by 10%? 10% means was 5 rupees into GST percentage. 10%, right? 10% of 5. 10% of 5. So I can write like this. 10% of 5, right? So instead of that, what should I write? 10 divided by 100. 10 divided by 100 into 5 into 5. Do you all agree? 10% of 5, GST 10 means what? 10% of 5. 10% of 5, how to calculate 10% of 5? Divide the 10 by 100 and either do like this or 5 into 10 by 100. Either. Are you able to get it? How to calculating GST? Unit price, 5 rupees is the unit price. 10% of unit price. So either do like this or multiply first and then divide, either of them. Is it clear, guys? Please let me know. Sir, my output given as read line not defined. Because you have not defined these 9 lines of code. I told you, please paste these lines of code first. Okay, now there is one more point. Like suppose my input changes. So as per my test cases, my input changes for the second one. Second one is 30 and 12. So let me change it to 30 and 12. 30 and 12. Right? Let me see what happens in this case. So what is the expected output that I calculated? 33.6. So it is calculating fine. What is the next one? 50.12.5. So let me change my input to 50 and 12.5. Now here will be problem. What is the problem is the second is floating point number. So if you calculate using our problem, what happens while converting parseInt? While converting parseInt in the line number 53, basically it will read 12. So let me execute this and see what is the problem. See, it calculates 56. What is the expected output? 56.25, right? Expected out is 56.25, but I'm getting 56. Why? Let me dry run this code, okay? So I go ahead and read the first line. What is first line? 50. So what happens? Unit price is 50. Do we all agree unit price will be 50? Do we all agree unit price will be 50? Then I call read line again and it goes and read the second line, which is 12.5. So I read 12.5 here as a string, 12.5, but I convert into parseInt. When I say convert into parseInt, basically it converts into integer. So it removes the decimal part. It removes the decimal part. So my GST becomes 12. How to make it 12.5? How to make it 12.5, guys? Instead of converting into integer, you convert it into float. So basically this should change to float. ParseInt will should change to float. Are you guys getting why float needs to be required? Yes, that Deepak, that can be a way. I'm trying to break it so that everyone understands. So now if I run this program, it will be able to calculate the decimal point also. Got it? Is it clear? Any doubt in this program? Give me +1 if everyone has understood. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So this is what I wanted to discuss today. I have tomorrow we are planning to discuss arithmetic. We'll discuss more arithmetics like plus, multiplication, and other that we want to discuss tomorrow. Modulus, division, and division. Yes, it's better to use float for the first type also, because one of the test case can say my unit price is 55.5. Somebody say my unit price is 55.5, right? So in that case, the first number can also be a float. So better to use float in both the cases. Float doesn't makes any, even if you pass an integer in front of float, it remains an integer. It doesn't converts into a float. Okay, so better to use float. Please kindly solve the student portal problem. Okay, I'll check that. What does make take more memory? Yes, it will take more memory, but since we are expecting floating point number, that's why we should use it. Float parse float will also parse integer into integer. It will not convert into float. What use float if integer is negative? No, negative is not handled here. Okay, it will remain negative. You need to use absolute. Absolute is a different function. I'll discuss sometime other time for negative value. Line number 39. 39. 39, 59 or what? Where is 39? Please repeat how to convert string into number. So to convert string into number, we have a predefined function, which is called parseInt or parseFloat. So depending on whether the number can have a floating decimal value or not, depending on that, you can use parseInt or parseFloat. If you use parseInt, basically it will try to convert the string into a number. But when you say you convert a into a number, try to do like this parseInt, it will throw error. It will basically say it is not a number. It will try to convert into a number, but a is not a number, right? So it will say NaN, NaN, matlab not a number. No. I said floats are also coming under number data type. We doesn't have two data types like integer and float separately. All of them are classified as number. That is what I said. Can you check parseInt? ParseInt is a predefined function that converts a number. If a number is represented as a string, so 10 is a number, okay? But if I represent it as a string, I will represent like this. Do you agree? A number can be represented as a string. Harshal, do you understand? Do you agree? A number can be represented as a string. Please reply. So when a number is represented as a string, I cannot perform arithmetic operation on that. So I'll have to convert this string type, number in a string type to a number type, right? How to do that? We do that using parseInt function. parseInt function. How parseInt works, that is a different thing. We'll explain it later. Okay. So basically we are using parseInt. You are converting a string, a number represented as string to a number represented as number. This is the difference. Can we use float for 200 while you took the input, which is number? See here, when readline reads, this input file is 50, right? But when readline reads, it reads it as an integer. It doesn't reads it as a string. Doesn't read it as a number. That is why we'll have to use parseInt or parsefloat. Readline always reads a string. That is the main problem. Here, till now, whatever we have discussed for readline, it reads only string data type. Can we calculate final inside last command? Inside last. Yes, these two statements can be combined into single. I just wanted to explain. That's why I used 2 lines. I hope, guys, I'm able to explain the things. I'm trying my best to break it and explain word by word. Any doubt, you can directly ping me on Slack also. My name is Jeet Prasad. You can ping me there. I'll explain, I'll clarify your doubt there also, okay? So if any doubt remains, you can ping me directly. Thanks everyone, thanks for attending. I hope it is you enjoyed the class. See you tomorrow, okay? We'll come up with new topic. Thanks everyone, thanks, bye now.